What would you say to other senior executives who aren't sure if they hear about lean, they want the outcomes, they want it now, they want it fast, but they're still on the fence about what that means for themselves as leaders? What are your words of advice to them?
The ones at GE today or elsewhere?
Both.
Yeah.
You can tell that you can set some direction at GE. You can't. But.
Well, I think the message I have given and will continue to convey to the GE team, and I think it's applicable everywhere, you've got to go slow to go fast. I'm sure there are different views in the room. If your idea of a Kaizen is an afternoon or a couple of days, I think it's a shortcut. I don't think you have endured the pain of Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning, right? When you have no idea how you're going to get to Friday yet. And there's a long day, a long night ahead of you. That, I think, is the sort of experience which really crystallizes these sorts of instincts and these sorts of skills. And I'm just a big believer in leaders needing to understand that. Not that leaders can then go off and spend 20 weeks a year running events, but having a good eye for a good event, critical. Having a support system to drive that effort. But then, back to your question about questions and answers, right? How do you evolve your own approach? And it's something I've seen with the GE team, because the GE team very much, I think, grew up with an eye toward answers coming from leadership, not necessarily questions. But again, an incredibly capable team that is making that, at the individual level, really making that transition. I couldn't be more proud, but you have to invest the time. You need some feedback loops, you need a coach, but have faith, because I think there's so many examples to suggest it's within the realm of the possible.
But I hear you saying they have to take it on themselves. It's not something that can be delegated. It also involves yourself as well in that role.
Sure, because how many of us have been a part of the Flavor of the Day program somewhere, right? Where the CEO's got a great idea. Maybe they've gone to an AME event. They have religion that day, but then something else comes up. But they hired the consultant. They've had a couple of events. You know what I call that fake lean. And unfortunately, we probably have all seen examples of it. I'm fearful I may see an example tomorrow. But you got to call it out. Right, you've got to have an eye for it. You've got to have the fortitude to call it out, not in a "what the heck are you doing" sort of way, but how about maybe a different approach? How about we actually play for keeps here and be serious about it? And over time, I think people want to win. I think if you give people an opportunity to see these approaches, these principles, these tools are really impactful, you get most folks there. Not everybody, but most.
Enough to build the culture.